Meet the Fritztrainer is back with me today, Dorian Rogozenco. Thanks for being here and doing this with us.
It's actually Rogozenco.
Rogozenco? Well, here we go. Rogozenco, I'm so sorry.
It's all sometimes people say Rogozenco, or so in German you pronounce Rogozenco. So, but it's correct, Rogozenco.
Rogozenco. Okay, that sounds pretty nice. It goes very well over the tongue. So now you know at home as well. And the reason I have Dorian with me is he has made a beautiful new Fritztrainer. Well, I just have the German version here, but it is the chess classics, games you have to know. And I can only tell this has several hours, because it's a lot of game. How many games in total?
In total, I have 33 full games, and there are also fragments. So 33 full games, as each game is one video, and there are also 2 videos with 5 fragments each. So basically the critical positions.
Yeah.
So altogether there are, I think, 35, 36 videos, something like that.
All right. So yeah, you can get all of this on the Fritztrainer, which is out already, as you already know probably. And the nice part about it is you all can download the PGNs. You have them in your collection with the full commentary, and of course on the Fritztrainer are the full videos with Dorian. So normally by Meet the Fritztrainer we're not only talking about chess. So I want to pick your brain a little bit about the things which you are doing beyond playing chess, because we all know that your life is surrounded by chess and that you have done a lot with chess. If you're not involved with chess, how are you spending your day? What are you doing in your free time?
Well, I like a lot to travel, but to travel like in vacations, not to travel and work, and to travel to certain places, not necessarily discovering something new. So I've already seen quite a lot of places, and I have my Lieblings, so my
your absolute favorite spots.
Favorites places, and I like to go there and to enjoy this. It's connected with food there, with something like that. So this is maybe the best thing I like to do.
Were you able to visit those places in the last 2 years, or was it a bit tougher?
Well, in 2020 it was tough, but I was maybe lucky because in 2019 I had maybe some 12, 13 visits to some places, so quite a lot. And 2020 was okay that I had only 2 or 3 times. I was.
So you filled up the tank in exactly. 2019.
Yes, for Corona.
Clever, yeah, without knowing that even. So are these far? Can you tell us 1 or 2 of, or are they secret places which nobody should know about?
Secret, but I want to say that this travel sometimes are just 3-4 days. It's not necessarily that I go there for weeks, but sometimes a long weekend from Friday to Monday. And usually it's connected with Mediterranean Sea, so Spanish coast, and also in Croatia, but generally Spanish coast. Mallorca, so this type of things.
Nice.
Barcelona.
Are you using hotels or Airbnb?
No,
or
I never use hotels. Never. When I go traveling private, I never take hotels. Gotcha. I like to be completely free, and also sometimes even to cook myself with ingredients which I can buy in the market.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing to do, right? And besides that, when you're spending your time, are you taking long walks in those places? Are you even doing some meditation, or are you just enjoying all the surroundings with having a wine in the evening, going to a restaurant, or cooking yourself?
Also walking, but for walking it should be a really nice area, not in the cities.
Yeah.
So I don't really like in the cities to go for longer walking. But it's on the coast. Usually it's let's say 90% is on the sea coast. So it's you don't really need long walking. It's just go to the coast and swim. So
nice.
I
That's
like
very nice.
Water quite a lot. Yeah.
Does chess have any relation with the places you're visiting, or is it really just that is your private thing? Or, like, for example, if I would go to Iceland, I would already like have the idea, okay, that's 1972, there's Bobby Fischer, something like that.
Maybe in the background of my mind, I keep these things alive, let's put it this way,
All
but
right.
I don't really have deep connections with this. This year I was, for instance, in Mallorca, and there was a tournament where a friend
yeah.
of mine was playing, but I didn't even visit the place, although we stayed together. I
Yes.
mean, together in a big house, families, and so it's not. It's if it's private, it's private. It's not really connected that much to chess, and maybe even anyway. Yeah.
That is interesting you're mentioning this because, of course, you are also, and I've already known a little bit of your work, and that part of it, also chess related, is psychology. It's a big part. It's something which is quite important also for the work.
Of course.
So here you're dividing, like, okay, I'm not even visiting this place and something like this. Can you give us a little insight about how psychology has like a severe, strong influence on chess? And I'm just talking about very simple things like you lost a game, a very important game, because you blundered or you missed this super extreme tactic. How can you get back from something like that?
You call it even a simple thing. I think it's one of the most complicated things actually with psychology. You know, chess is very complex. This is a problem with chess. It's not like you learn the game, and even if you learn it perfectly, you know an opening perfectly, you know some examples by heart. But still, you don't understand why you lose or why you make mistakes, why you are sometimes in good form and sometimes in bad form. Sometimes everything you do, you just play you have a right preparation. The opponent runs into your preparation in the whole tournament, and people say, "Wow, in such a good form." But it's a bit of luck, and but this is very complex. I think that actually, on the high level, one of the most important things in chess is how to take your losses. So how to your state of mind after losing games. I think this is maybe one of the most important things, because some people just cannot deal with it. And after losing one game, they go down. I have many examples. And the other way, some people get even more energy and they can concentrate better, and it's okay. It's very unpleasant, but it's not such a big deal. Okay, it belongs to it. And maybe back to this traveling and making this difference. So maybe this is also an idea of it. So I want to completely to relax, not to think about chess, because otherwise I think maybe 24 out of 24 is connected here in Hamburg with chess my life. So that's why maybe this traveling, it's a way to distract, to relax. And this psychological aspect, as you said, is very individual. Everybody has to find a way how to deal with these situations.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I'm reading a lot about it. I'm reading a book right now which is called Chatter. I don't know the author at the moment, but he's explaining exactly what you're talking about a baseball player who was a huge talent, and he was considered one of the greatest, and then he was throwing the ball so far away all the time that after just a couple of months, he never ever came back to his form because he lost this link or this connection to, his passion and something. And I guess in chess, it's, it's a sport where you're using your brain all the time, probably. So it is probably very severe. Can you give one or two tips maybe for our viewers? Like one, maybe not a hack, but one or two tips which are quite important for chess.
It's important to understand that losses belong to the game. It's impossible. Even Magnus Carlsen, yes, or Fischer or Kasparov in the past, they also, from time to time, they take losses. It's normal. And it's maybe even more important to lose from time to time than to make many draws, because otherwise, if you don't lose from time to time, you think you can't deal with these situations, and you have to be able to put it apart. How to put it away? it's again, it's very individual. Some people just want to, I know from our team even, okay, you watch a movie or 2 movies or 3 movies or a serial and trying to, or you try to analyze it. I think that the best way is to socialize somehow with other people, because then your thoughts are distracted really. So you don't have to somehow yourself to find a way to go away with it. Ideally, if you can go dancing or something like that, that's very good. And you forget immediately about everything.
Love that. Great advice. Thank you for that. Now, we have something special for you because we also have a German version of this interview. I'm asking a couple of different questions. And normally I'm asking my Meet the Fritztrainer, to analyze one of his favorite games or their favorite games. But today we're doing a little bit special just for you. We're having a little bit of a sneak peek about this new Fritztrainer. So pretty exclusive, pretty nice. We're taking a look at one of the most beautiful classics, one of those many beautiful classics. And you're going to take the mouse and the keyboard and show us a little bit about a beautiful game.
Yeah, about classics, maybe I can...
Let me quickly adjust the camera and then we can start.
I can say maybe a few words. That generally, when we're talking about classics, people know, okay, there are some classics. There are some classic games which are good to know, which belong to the chess culture, to the general culture, and but people usually don't know which games I should know, which exactly, what exactly are classics which I should know. And this was the idea behind this Fritztrainer course, to give you precisely, okay, these are the games which you should know, because there are many games, and I've chosen 33, starting with Philidor, and ending up with Botvinnik against Capablanca. So it's until the Second World War. And I was amazed to discover that even the masters of the very past. So it's even Philidor. Yes, even Philidor. Maybe I can show here an example. Let me see.
Sure.
From Philidor because this was also interesting. So
let us adjust. Let me quickly adjust the board.
So, yes. Okay. So this is a game of Philidor with the black pieces. Bishop c4. Okay, c6. Yeah.
That's, by the way, my favorite opening, if I may say so, and for white.
For white, okay. So you don't have to play...
but not that anymore.
Yeah, okay. This is again 18th century. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Okay, c3. But I want to show one fragment in this game.
Okay.
So d3, knight f6. So black plays actually starting with this moment. Black plays very good. Bishop takes f5, d4, e4, bishop g5, d5, bishop d3, bishop d6. So black has advantage. Knight d2. Okay, both sides develop pieces, but black is better.
Yeah, looks very nice for black at the moment.
h3.
The knight on g1 is a bit unlucky.
Exactly. So bishop e3, queen e7. White plays f4 here. So keeps on. Okay, so this is one of the moments which actually impressed me, that black played here h5. So this concept of prophylaxis.
It's a computer move.
It's okay, but it's a prophylactic against g4, and already so Philidor already knew about this. But more amazing is that white played c4, and now the move which was made by black a6 amazed me. This is a very modern kind of move. White protects against c takes d5, c takes d5, and queen b5.
Okay.
So a6. Okay, and black in the future he wants to prepare b5. So it's like a bit like, because okay, white played c takes d5, and now white doesn't have this idea of queen b5.
Yes.
So like this, and that's why a6 very prophylaxis move. Castle short, knight e2, b5. Okay, actually black plays very mature chess. So the knight comes to c4, and it was also interesting that after castle short, knight b6, knight g3, again an amazing move to play g6, just to blockade everything and to keep this bishop on e3. White's
terrible.
Bishop. And the whole game was played against this bishop, and black won then. Okay, in the end, of course, there are some mistakes at some point if we check everything exactly with the computer.
Yeah.
But this is the point of classical games. You don't check, you just look at the ideas. And if you know, okay, that bishop is on e3, it's a bad piece. So, okay, all the game strategy from black is to play against this bishop to not to allow white to play f5. So that's why he blockaded the pawn on f4. So even before Nimzovich, so Philidor was accustomed to this blockade, to this prophylaxis, strategical.
To loads of modern things which are quite normal
which are
and
normal,
standard. Yeah.
But people even we see even Philidor knew about this.
Yes.
I want to show maybe another example.
Please, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this looks great. So I put it down here.
Yeah, so it's a game between Labourdonnais and McDonnell. They played a lot of matches in 1834, and so there are so many interesting moments. One of the games is when black finishes the game with 3 passed pawns on d2, e2, and f2 with black. So this was the final position. But here I would like to show a game which looks very modern, and it's actually very strongly played by white. So c4, d takes c4, e3, very modern opening, accepted queen's gambit, take on c4, take, e takes d4, e takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, bishop e7, knight f3. Okay, bishop g4 is not possible because bishop takes f7 and knight e5. So
you're not even using the keyboard, you're just making the moves because you know this so in your heart, right?
This is a very easy game to know. So now white plays h3. Okay, the idea is that now bishop g4 was the idea of black. Black plays c6, white plays bishop e3, bishop f5. So very modern way of somehow developing the pieces. We have this isolated pawn on d4, and one important moment is to understand that if this pawn from c6 would be on e6, then the position is equal. With a pawn on c6, instead of e6, the position is better for white for the simple fact that this bishop from c4 has now a longer diagonal, and it's much more active on this diagonal. And this position is slightly better for white. So normal move here would be castle short, white is slightly better. But look what happened in this game. White started g4.
Very wild.
This is very correct attack actually. Knight d7, knight takes g6, h takes g6, and h4. And actually, white has a very modern way of playing.
Yeah.
Opening the h file. Look what happened after that. Black plays very logically apparently. White plays h5, so black takes and gives check on h4. The idea is to take on h5 and keep the h file closed. Take on h5, and now okay.
What a game!
If white takes on h5, but black's idea was to play bishop g5 to threaten queen takes d4, and the bishop comes to h6. So the position is very unclear. But white plays here queen f3, and his idea is actually to attack on.
Give more pressure on f7.
On f7, and after bishop g5, again a very strong move by white. Rook f1. The point is that if white takes here on h5, black plays first g6, and then the queen takes on d4 and protects this diagonal. But white starts in this position, rook a1, and just gives this pawn, king goes to c2, and actually white has a winning attack here. And after queen f6, again a very amazing move, rook takes h5, because in endgame, white is also has a winning attack thanks to this bishop. Black cannot escape with the king.
Yeah,
and still the attack is decisive. So black gave check, white played d4, black played knight d5. Now after rook h1, bishop h6, g5, white wins material.
Oh, that is over, yeah.
But the whole way of playing was impressive, starting with g4, knight e5, and actually, and again, we are looking at the game which was played almost 200 years ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and in my experience as a trainer, I can say that knowing such examples, it's very important if you learn them when you are young, when you're really as a child. If you start playing chess, then I think age 10, 11, 12 is the most important age to learn the classics. Because after that you start to work a lot with computers. And if you start working with computers, then these classics, they have a smaller impact on you. But if you are young, very young, and you start learning on the board, and you look at these classics, they remain in your head, the ideas, all the ideas, they remain there. Later you start to work with computers and to try modern way of preparation, but they're still there. If you do it when you're 20 years old or even later, it's okay, it's very good, but they don't have the same impact they would have had when you are young. So I would suggest to any trainer to show the classic games to the very young age to their pupils.
Interesting. Not only because it is, after all, it's a part of history, and history is something very beautiful.
Of course.
Besides that, yeah.
Yes. No, I was talking about learning. So
absolutely,
because how people generally in modern chess, how they analyze games, they put the engine and analyze games at the same time, and looking at the engine maybe more than at the board. So of course it's very influenced, and you lose a lot of ideas. And
and ideas are important for chess. We all know about this. So tell your children, but if you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, hey, don't worry. It's also very good for you, right? So
for your culture. Yeah, for sure.
If you don't have it yet, now's the chance. If you put it into the basket already last week and forgot something, and you go like, oh yeah, that's a good reminder. That's it, what you do. Dorian, that was so much fun. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you too.
Thank you for watching.
Hope you'll enjoy it.
Yes, I hope so too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.